just quick reflections. I hope you are well wherever it is that you are on this beautiful planet of ours, even through all the things that we are going through. But it is still a beautiful planet. Life is still carrying on, besides the politics of life. So I wanted to come through at this moment in time and just share something. I've just been having a reflection. Um, I was in a class with my with my child, and one of the things that I think that is ideal when we say we want our children to be educated is by all means to try and drive the point of them gaining understanding, because like the good book says, in all thy seeking, seek understanding first. So now one of the things that come to my mind when I'm reflecting on these things, as I'm trying to impart some knowledge or understanding to my children in terms of them getting educated, because sometimes we take for granted that yes, kids can comprehend, they can comprehend things that they are taught, but how much of those things that they are being taught do they really understand? Because if there's no understanding, then there will be no application of knowledge. And that has been the main problem with our education system thus far. Because people, when they lack the understanding of something, then it effectively means that even the application of that knowledge will lack. Because now, if there's no understanding, then how are you going to put that knowledge or that information into practice without the level of understanding? So in this reflection, one of the things that come to my mind is one of those things when we say to our children, yeah, for example, when we say, okay, teach your children how to pray. And I'm saying, if you had to look at how some people pray out there, it will be quite difficult for you to try and teach your child how to pray like the adults do. Where now they have to have all these words that they are saying, whether it's asking, whether it's pleading, whether it's being thankful. Obviously, there are basics to those kind of things, but um, what, what, what for me would make better sense is to give our children affirmations, is to give them statements of meditations, as I would put it, things that they can apply their minds to. For example, in one of the affirmation statements that we just came across with my boy is to say, the statement goes like this: if my heart and my mind are not in it, I am not in it. If my heart and my mind are not in it, then I am not in it. And it is as simple and as basic as that. But if you look at it much more deeper, it's going to drive again for them to understand what that statement really is about. Because now, if one is going to find themselves engaged in anything in their interaction with life, um, one has to involve their heart, one has to involve their mind as well, you know. And once these things can work holistically, then the end result is having someone who fully comprehends, someone who will fully engage themselves in any interaction with life, whether it's learning a new skill, whether it's learning a lesson, or whether it's integrating a lesson that is being taught. Where now you are saying, if your heart is in it, that means there's a level of passion. And when there's a level of passion, there will also be a level of inspiration. And when those things work hand in hand or in tandem with each other, then it becomes easier for those lessons to remain in a person. It allows for that lesson to be fully integrated in them, because now your whole being is involved in that particular lesson. Your whole being is involved in that particular interaction. So the statement again, going back to it, it says, if my heart and my mind are not in it, then I am not in it. It will also say to them, Uti, when they are doing something, they need to first involve their heart. They need to involve their emotion. They need to involve their psychology or their level of intellect or understanding in that thing. Because now, when those two elements now are involved, then you can truly say that then that child has been educated or has fully grasped that particular concept. So these kind of affirmations and statements of affirming their position is for me a better level of prayer for that child, or a level of centering for that particular child, instead of giving them all these big words and many things that they have to say during their process of prayer. But with a statement like that, then you just enable it to be just a simple statement that is structured in such a way that not only would it be an inner day chant, where it will not only be a point of reflection, but also a point of commitment from that particular soul. Like I'm saying, what we are sharing now is not only an exercise for children, but it is a universal principle, because these are some of the things that we need to teach our children to grow from universal principles that cut across all borders. It does not matter where they are in the world. Thus, the statement we believe that is a universal statement that says, if my heart and my mind are not in it, then I am not in it, you know. And it is at that point that we are saying it will help that person or that particular individual to better integrate themselves in the situation. So if you find yourself now engaged in something and you can tell that your mind is not in it, then you must really question yourself, what are you doing in that environment or with that particular interaction? If your heart is not in it, then you have to ask yourself again, what am I doing? Why am I even? Because you'll be wasting your time. You'll honestly be wasting your efforts in anything that you are engaged in. So now, having to engage your emotions. They normally say in learning that if you have more of your senses involved in the learning process, if you have more of your senses engaged in whatever interaction or nayo, those experiences become better assimilated inside of you. And these are some of the things that we would love, or that we would like to impart in our children, that they need to involve themselves. They need to involve themselves by engaging their heart, their emotion, to say now, how does this engagement fulfill my emotions? How does this engagement fulfill my heart? How does this engagement fulfill or contribute towards my happiness? And if their mind is involved, it will also say now, it opens up to further study, it opens up to further learning, to further inquisitiveness, to further researching, so that now the things the things that involve your heart, you would want to take care of. You know what I mean? So now, if we can teach them to get into those patterns where they're involving their heart and their minds in unison, because most of the time we find ourselves in conflict on the basis that our hearts are somewhere and our minds are also somewhere else. And now, because now there's these two worlds that we are traveling in, this is where sometimes where confusion gets in. This is where we lose some of the finer lessons that really give us the grounding and the principles that will guide us even in the future. So now, we are saying now, coming through in this particular discourse, is to say, let us try and develop in your particular space, try to develop a set of affirmations or statements that really will remain as life lessons for our children. So I'm just coming through at this point to just share just this particular one that says again, if my heart and my mind are not in it, then I am not in it. Yes? If my heart and my mind are not in it, then I am not in it. And it is as simple as that. It will ask, how engaged are you? How passionate are you? How inspired are you? How much do you, how much does this experience fulfill me being a better person? How much does this experience fulfill me being a, a, a better educated or a better informed individual in life or to life for that matter? So um, I'm, 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 I'm just sharing this part to say how is it or what techniques or what forms can now we begin to employ in helping our kids grow up confident, to grow up self-trusting, to grow up with that level of confidence where they are not shaken. And the first point is to say, if your heart is not in it, if you don't have an invested interest in something, then that thing is useless. It will mean that that child is also wasting that, or that individual for that matter, is wasting their time, is wasting their effort, is wasting everything that, or the time that we are given. You know what I'm saying? So now, in helping us now to navigate or to find better tools to work with in developing the psyche and the emotional aspect of our children, of individuals as a primary focus, is now to find these affirmations, is to find these kind of statements or statements that are similar to the one that we are sharing right now, to say, if my heart and my mind are not in it, it effectively means that I am not in it. That means if I'm going to be doing that thing, I'm doing that thing for nothing. I'm just wasting time. I'm not putting my time to effect, or I will end up on the other side uneducated, because now it will just be information that comes in and just passes through. It's just information that comes in and passes through, but not have any depth to change or to effect a change or to begin a process of change or an application of knowledge. Because once you're passionate about something and your mind is engaged in it, then even the creativity that comes with that engagement of these two elements, the feminine and the masculine, when these elements are brought together, then a new creation comes in, or an extension, or an enthusiasm will begin to take over that particular space. And once that happens, we know that whole entire being, your whole entire being, your whole entire being is engaged, is fully immersed in that experience. And on the other side, I am willing to bet that that soul will not be like any other individual who do not have these elements in their use when they are coming to certain interactions with life. So we are saying now, try in your own particular space, try in your own space in terms of coaching your kids or educating your children, to give them or develop these statements that you know that they build towards character, they build towards strong individuals, they build towards somebody who will also take responsibility for their own learning, for their own growth. You know what I mean? Because now the education thus far has not really inspired people to move towards a level of growth, or inspiring or taking responsibility of what really happens in their individual lives. It will always be on someone else. It will always be on something else other than themselves. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to be raising kids who are crutching until someone comes. That whole savior mentality where someone has to come in and try save the day, but you want to feel like you have imparted information and knowledge, and in children receiving that information, they need to have those elements involved, so that now as a parent you can have that confidence that yes, my child will be educated, or my child will be well informed, so that they can make better choices in their lives. You know what I'm saying? So this template is a guiding principle more than anything. It's a guiding principle to say now, you, how do we give them these tools? How do we give them these tools that may just sound at the most basic level just statements that we are making? You know what I mean? So now wherever it is that you are, and you're going to begin now to formulate these anecdotes, find ways that makes them so simple, but in their simplicity they impart the most deepest, or they will ingrain a certain culture in them that will help them as well in their life going forward, so that they take responsibility. So this also speaks to that element of building self-reliance from a core point of view, and not from a just an egotistical point of view, but from a core point of view that says, if if my heart and my mind are not involved, then I am not involved. This speaks to commitment, this speaks to responsibility, this speaks to commitment, this speaks to motivation, this speaks to creativity, and many other things that will expand from that point of view. So, with sharing this particular aspect, we were just trying to bring to your awareness as well, from a basic level, where we are saying we cannot give to other people the responsibility of educating our children. We cannot just give to other people the responsibility of nurturing the foundational character of our children. We must build that, because at the end of the day, we want to be confident that our children will be strong individuals that will be able to fully represent themselves in anything that they are involved in. So once they know that the heart is an important element to involve, their mind is an important element to know. You know what I'm saying? Because now, once the heart is involved, there's inspiration, the source energy involved. When the mind is now involved, it will mean that even interest will be involved. It will mean learning will be involved. It will mean questioning will be involved. Because if we do not raise our children to also question things, and begin to find answers, then we cannot now wish for a better future for them in the future, because now they won't know, or have this necessary skill set to be able to interrogate certain things in life. So, as a template and a working principle, let us develop these. Let us find more of these. And in your individual spaces, sit down with your children, sit down with them and take them through, give them the lessons of those particular affirmations that you will give them, so that now you can also have the the confidence that I've also imparted something in terms of educating my child. Education is not only in books, you get what I'm saying? It is not only in books, but it will help them to also now find even the relevant information, or search for the relevant things that will benefit them. But their foundation, or the center from which they need to move on from is from that basis that everything begins with them. If my heart and my mind are not engaged, then I am not present in that moment. And this is what we wish to share with you today. I hope this helps, and I hope this throws a bit of clarity. So, in essence, what we are also saying is that instead of saying now, where when a child is being taught how to pray, to say, hey, now say these big words. No, shrink these big words and just give them these simple affirmations. Let them work on them. Let them recite them on a daily basis. Let them, and now as a parent, just keep searching the children, keep searching for them for their understanding, whether they even grasp this particular concept, and only move on to other affirmations once they have fully grasped those affirmations, and they can also begin to give you practical examples, practical things in applying this particular principle to their lives. I hope that this helps you wherever that you are in helping build the future, in helping build our children, in helping you become more confident in the kind of child or soul that you are developing for the future world. Thokozani gogo, u-Ombethe lo okhulumayo, makudede ubumnyama kuphela ukukhanya, bayede. And that is us signing out until we meet again in the next segment.